So I've been working on the lemon truck the last couple of days. This is only meant to take a few days. All I'm doing is changing the bloody timing chain over and also fixing a coolant leak which was up above the inlet here, which actually ended up being this, which was clearly fucking snapped off. It was hanging on by like a thread of rust, so I'll just replace this with some spares I've got. That'll fix the coolant leak. Actually, I'm going to fix this right now because it'll only take about 20 minutes. Ugh. I reckon that'll do the job. It's the right bloody thread. It might not even be the right thread. You know what, looking at it, I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not the right size, that's for sure.
All around me are familiar faces.
Oh, actually, my 18R GEU stuff. Here we go. This might have something I can use. I don't really want to tape from this, but that's looking pretty spot on, isn't it? I could make that work. T-motor, surely. Probably hard for you to see, but I reckon that's the one. This will do, I reckon. I can make this work. Give it a quick clean, I reckon. So that's going to need to be drilled out to the same size. Done. Right. Now that that's out the way, the chain and the guides are done, but I'm waiting on the bloody the oil pump seal. So I won't be able to put the oil pump on until that seal comes in. So I'll be able to pick that up probably Friday. So this will be here a bit longer than planned, but that doesn't matter. I've got other things I can do. I need to replace the mirror on this thing. I need to do a few other things to it. This was built about a year ago, this RA40, and I say built, but all we really did was buy it, the 18RC, and it was junk. So we thought, well, we've got this 22RE and a RT142 just sitting here. Fuck it, we'll throw it in. So we did. We put it in with a W55 behind it, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a W55. The Corona was actually auto. I had a W55 in the workshop. The only thing we really had trouble with was the wiring, because this is a late model 22RE, and 86 I think is the year where they changed the ECU. They don't have the emissions gear like the friggin' air pump and all that crap up here. They actually just have a O2 sensor and a few other things. But the reason we went 22R was not only because we had it sitting there and it was low K, but because it's relatively bolt in. All I had to do was swap the sump, move the mounts forward, and it bolts straight into the RA40. Another reason we went 22RE is because they're freaking bulletproof, man. Like, other than the timing guides always bloody becoming brittle, breaking up and falling into the sump, I've never heard of anybody having major issues with these. Occasional head gasket, but you know, that's just unfortunate. So yeah, we went with this for reliability. It's EFI, it's turnkey, it's got power steering, it's got the aircon. So we retained the aircon system from the RA40 and used bits and pieces from an RT133GL to finish off the aircon, because they have a 21RC in them, but they're the same chassis, which was actually where we got the mounts and the sump from. But I digress. We got the aircon system made up of parts from that and RT142, and same with the power steering. That's mostly RT133, except the steering box. I'm not sure if you can see that. Probably not. The steering box is MX62. That bolts straight in. It's not really that difficult to bolt in. You just have to shorten the steering column just a bit by literally tapping it with a hammer, because they're a collapsible column. It was a bit larger, but it did bolt straight in. We didn't have many issues with that. The airbox sits right here and basically bolts straight in. The bracket that holds the coil and igniter bolted straight in. The pump reservoir bolted straight in. Those, I think the back one bolted straight in. This one we ended up just using some screws because we were getting impatient and we wanted it fucking running. Fuel filter bracket bolted straight in. Like, it's unreal how much is just bolted straight in. I'm surprised not more people do this. Most would probably go for power, but I mean, this is built for my wife. She's not a fucking race car driver. She doesn't need to go bloody 180 kilometers per hour. She's quite happy just cruising along in her Celica. So we thought, we'll piss the bloody RC off, make it reliable, and it has been. It has been super reliable. It starts every bloody time with the turn of the key. It's awesome. The only thing was it's had a rattly timing chain, so I've obviously replaced the guides, the chains, and all that. Waiting on that fucking pump seal still. But yeah, it's that's pretty much the bloody rundown on the 22RE and the RA40. So I guess I can show a bit more of the car. It's just I'm in a shed with relatively average lighting. It's a lift back, which isn't liked by many, but you know, my wife likes it, and that's all that counts. So it's not exactly mint. It does have a few dings here and there. We did fit our side louvers finally, but we still got to fit the back one, which will happen once we get around to repairing it. It's aluminium, so it's got a few cracks that need welding. So removed the back seat, or the top half anyway, because she carries the dogs around in here. Got some speakers mounted, and also some speakers in the factory spots up under here. It's pretty much just an RA40, other than the bloody engine and a few other bits and pieces. Like, the interior isn't that nifty. I mean, we fed a head unit down there, the bloody sub under her seat, so she's happy. She's happy. The ECU we mounted up under the above the glove box. The AC button there, which the reason we did that was because she wanted an old school radio, but she wasn't able to use it because there was no wiring for it in this thing. So I thought, well, fuck it, we'll put the AC button where one of the knobs goes. You can have the radio there for looks, and this one's just a parts radio that doesn't work. And no point having a knob over there when she's going to have a mobile phone holder here, you know. So yeah, that's pretty well the rundown on Lemon Truck. It's a slightly improved RA40. It's not, you know, it's not carbureted anymore, so it's a bit better. We've made it more comfortable, I guess. Oh yeah, the name Lemon Truck. The name Lemon Truck came about because when we bought this and it was the 18RC and it was running like shit, we called it the Lemon. And then we went and fit the bloody Hilux motor, or Corona motor, truck motor, 2.4 litre, and we thought, yeah, Lemon Truck. So that's how that name came about. I know it's not really a truck motor, it's, you know, it's a petrol 4-cylinder, but it's just the fact that it's so much more torquey than the 18RC, and you can feel it. It definitely feels like a truck when you drive it. It drives like a freaking Hilux, that's for sure. The wheels are MX73, I think, Steelies with Carina center caps. which, you know, they were powder coated gunmetal by a friend of mine, and they look pretty fucking cool. She wanted to keep the old school looking tyres, so that's why it's got the big balloon tyres. I tried to convince her wide tyres and flares, but she said no. I'll convince her. Just give it time. Give it time. I'll convince her. So yeah, that's the lemon truck. That's my wife's pride and joy. And now that this one's pretty well ready for the road again, she can start on her other liftback, which is a Series A, named Lily. So yeah, we'll get around to that. But yeah, that's it, guys. Right, catch us next time.
Easy.